Hello and welcome to another video in our Android Studio productivity series. I'm Norman from Future Studio University here, and in this video we're going to talk about one of the features of Android Studio which I do not see used enough, and that is the split view. Let's get into it. If you know split view and use it a lot, that's great, but I actually don't see it used enough. And so what I mean by that is often you have to go back and forth between two components of your app, of your general project. So for example, if I have a main activity and I'm going to use an intent to get to the second activity, here I'm using an intent which adds some extra information. It's going to be a secret with some secret string, and then I have to figure out, well, actually I have to read this intent in the second activity, so I'm going to jump back to the second activity. Let me increase the font size a little bit here. And oh yeah, here I'm reading the secret. Well, was that the right ID or was it secret? Well, let me go back. And this goes on back and forth for a while, and it takes you out of the context every time. Now this is a simple example where you will get it pretty quick, but if you're working on complex code, this interruption of going back and forth will make it really hard for you to be efficient coding. And this is one of the great things when you can use split view. You're just gonna right click on the tab, and then you could, for example, say split vertically. So now I have on the right side the second activity, on the left side I have the main activity, and right away I can see, okay, I used here secret and not ID, so I can just copy this over, and now I'm actually reading the secret correctly. Now this is great, but there's actually more, because you can do more than just a vertical split. So let me open another activity right here. And you can do this even further. So for example, you could say now split horizontally. And now I have 3 activities open on my screen. If you have a big enough screen, you can open quite a few of these activities. Now there's actually more than you can do. And if you knew split view, you might not know this. So what you can do if you have multiple monitors, like I have dual monitors right here, but our screencasting software can't record both at the same time. So I'm going to demonstrate this with a little half page. So what you can do is you can take one of these views and just pull them out. So what you could do is, I'm going to code over here in my main activity on my main screen, and in my second screen I have another view, same Android Studio, just a different activity. So you can spread out your IDE on multiple monitors if you are lucky enough to have them. It's super helpful, and I don't see it used enough. This is not only limited to the code views. You can do actually it with everything else in the IDE too. For example, if you want to, hey, I want to see the log cat, so I want to see the logging of the Android device I've connected. You can just say, I'm going to disable the dark mode, I'm going to say floating mode, and you can have that on your second monitor as well. And there's a lot more. You could say, okay, I'm going to pull out the terminal as well, just say floating mode, and now you have a bunch of windows open on all of your monitors. It's super helpful if you want to avoid switching context and going back and forth between multiple views. That's it for this video. Using the split view and the floating mode of views is one of my favorite features of all the IntelliJ products. So give it a go, and if it's helpful to you, give us a like, because that's helpful to us, and subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos on how to be more productive in your IDE. Enjoy coding and make it rock.